All right, yeah, this is in standard form, which is not ideal for graphing. If you were to graph in standard form, I would tell you to find the intercepts, which the intercepts I told you would just, to find the x-intercept, you take away the y. So where's this going to cross the x-axis? At -4. To find the y-intercept, you take away the x. This is also going to cross the y at -4. Or if you wanted to, the other thing you could do is convert this to slope-intercept by doing -x minus x, giving you y is equal to -x minus 4. But we already know where it's going to cross the y-axis. Where is it going to cross at -4? What would the slope be? -1/1, up 1, left 1. So either way that you look at it, the answer should be. Who said -1 over -1? It's -1 over 1. Do you know Ren and Stimpy? I don't get Stimpy. You think I get Stimpy? I'm sorry. Would you like me to be more positive? It's okay. You know what? That's a good question. But I didn't say -1 over -1 because if I did, you would be correct and it would be a positive. We said -1 over 1, which is up 1, left 1. You guys actually like that? Like I had a teacher one time that I co-taught with that like no matter what the kid would ask, the student would ask and stuff. Well, that's a great question. That's a really good question. And I'd be like, what? You serious?
What's 1 plus 1?
So that's the thing. I like what I couldn't figure out is whether she was doing it to be condescending or whether she was just doing it to be positive and stuff. And I never really wanted to ask her because that'd be kind of insulting to ask. Like, hey, are you doing that to mess around with him and stuff? Like you realize that this kid was just like on his phone for the last 5 minutes and he just didn't hear what we said. So when he asked that question, it's just because it wasn't a good question. Find that, okay. This is already in slope-intercept form. What's the slope here? And remember, these are the ones missed the most. These are the ones missed the most. It is the yes. Because where could you find the slope when the y is by itself? Where do you find the slope when the y is by itself? In front of x. Oh, free response. No. And you changed it on these. Like before, I used to be able to just leave these blank so that I could guess on the rest. But now you're making me actually put an answer here. No. I don't want that. We don't like it. What should I do first here? It's good. B minus 32b plus 32 is equal to 32 minus 4b. And then you would, so this is negative 31b plus 32 is equal to 32 minus 4b. And then I like to move the b's first. So I'm gonna go plus 31b plus 31b. All the b's move over to the right. So then minus 32 and minus. All the constants cancel out. So that must mean no solution, right? It just means 0 is equal to 27b. And what's 0 divided by any number? 0. Not error. 0. 0 a la izquierda. You need to get your life fixed. Yes, you could distribute, and yes, I will distribute, but not really because it's the best way for this, but it's just the one that I think you guys would understand the most. But actually, what you could do here, because negative 27 is divisible, you could actually start off dividing by 3 here. I don't want anybody's head to explode. So let's just distribute. 3b plus 27 is equal to negative 27. Minus 27 minus 27. 3b. No, it's not 0.
It's
Trying to show off. Should be negative. I think that's not going to work out. That doesn't make sense. Is it 718? Did I do it wrong? I did it wrong.
18.
Sorry, Hope. My mental math is not as good as yours. Tiffany. And you've been doing so much better lately. Isaac, stop being a bad influence on Tiffany. Stop it. Stop it. She just wants to be like you. Yeah. How old is your son? Me too. So solve by elimination, which makes sense because both of these are in standard form. You got to pick a variable to eliminate. It doesn't matter which one you pick. You could be tempted by the x's because of the fact that well, the bottom x has a negative 1 in front. And actually, you know what? That's the one I'm gonna get rid of. I was gonna go with the y's because they have different signs, but let's live dangerously. Let's go with the x's. But I need them to have different signs also. So when I multiply, I'm gonna go times negative 4 on the bottom. So I get negative 4x plus 4y is equal to negative 8. That stays the same. But then I will get positive 4x plus 28y is equal to negative 120. You're gonna get the light fixed?
Wait, what? Yeah, she died. It's her fault.
Negative 4? Now that I have the y, how do I find the x? Substitution. Now you might actually think that the bottom one is preferred. I'm scared that if you plug into the bottom one, you're gonna forget to get rid of that negative. So I'd probably tell you to go into the top one. Negative 4x plus 4 times negative 4 is equal to negative 8. Negative 4x minus 16 is equal to negative 8 plus 16 plus 16. Negative 4x is equal to 8. Divide by negative 12.
4.
Don't trip, Adrian. So which one is it? This video is going to be available online too, so if you're going to do the retake. Why do a retake when Mr. Romero can do it for you? Okay, this one here is kind of a mess, so let's just do all the matching. So, what is any number to the 0 power? 1. So 1 is C. When you take a power of a power, what are you allowed to do with the powers? Not add. Multiply. So yes, as Jamin said, that is A. When you take a power of a product, what are you allowed to do with the product on the inside? Distribute. So you can give that M to each one. So it would be G. What happens when you have a negative exponent? It's a reciprocal. You drop it as if it was caught into the denominator. What happens to the exponents if you multiply the same base? What are you allowed to do with those exponents? Yeah, those you can add. It's D. What can you do if you're taking the power of a quotient? You're taking the power of, just like with multiplication, you can distribute it to both. That would be E. And then the last person picks the kickball. Oh, Mr. Romero, you just gave me 7 answers for the retake. That's awesome. I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. Thanks, Celine. Don't thank me. Thanks, Celine. It's going to average it out. It's like if you have like a 98 or a 99, it wouldn't really make sense to do a retake because you can't really go much higher. Euler's formula: V minus E plus F. You might want to listen to this because I've had a few people come and asking for help on these, and this is actually what you did back in the good old days with the last teacher. Yeah, it was one of the last things you did, literal equations. So this is when you have more than one variable and they're asking you to solve for one. What does it mean to solve? What? Wait. What just happened? Did he take you on a ride that you've never been on before? I didn't think so. He's kind of big on he's kind of big on hyperbole. So I guess I wasn't into this. Okay. So let's isolate. Let's isolate F. Minus V plus E. Yay, F is by itself. Minus V plus E. So which one of these have F by itself with a positive 2, a negative V, and a positive V on the other side? By the way, for both this one and the one you took yesterday, the reason why it's not in the grade book yet is because I waited until after the retake to put it in the grade book. But if you want to see how you did, that is on E-class. Even yesterday's, I put it on there already. Solve the following equation. Okay, what should we do first? Negative 3a plus 9 is equal to 6a plus 12 minus 12. Combine like terms like you do in the hood. You haven't been to the hood lately? That's what every time I go, I just see people combine like terms. And also putting their cell phones away. No, they just combine like terms.
That's pretty wild.
Plus 3a. And then I know I've only said it about maybe 37 times or so, give or take 3 or 4 times. But on these Google forms, if assuming you have all the work right, if a is equal to 1, what would you enter in? Just put the 1, like don't put the variable in equal sign. That's what I'm here for. I'm just here to remind you guys so that you don't forget.
I got it right.
You know that on all those reviews that you can see how you did afterwards, like it tells you both how many you got correct divided by you just have to put in the calculator, and then also it gives you a page where you can just scroll down and it tells you all the ones you got wrong. What the heck is that? I've never seen that before in my life. It's called a proportion, cross multiply. Also done quite frequently in the hood. Yeah, they're not combining like terms. They're cross multiply, divide. So, oh, I don't know. Let me see somebody. Hope. If you were doing this, the retake, what would you enter in for this answer? Just -10. Yeah, you wouldn't put like C equals. Just put.
He said edit it like 37 or so times. Then what?
Is that Vicente you were talking to?
Yeah.
Oh. Hmm. He's taken already. He has another. Did you just say ew and then you said sorry? That's. All right, solve by quadratic formula. R equals. If B is 9, what is negative B? Plus or minus. Oh, stop flirting with the boys. No, I never thought about that. That's true. That's true. It's hope and hope. You're right. You're right.
I know it.
Soap? Soap? It would have been better if they would have called you Hope Soap Coat.
The hospital name. They named me
How many negatives come after the Yeah, it makes it positive 42. What's the square root of 121? Oh, quit being so popular. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. So R is equal to -9 plus 11 divided by 2. R is equal to -9 minus 11 divided by 2. This gives you 1. This gives you -9. Solve for x. This does not tell you how to solve for x. If you wanted to do this a smart way, what would be?
Oh, take a square root. Yeah.
I'll take 2 different answers. There's 2 smart ways to do this. Yeah. Okay, factoring is 1, but hold on. Factoring is 1 for the prize. What type of factoring would you have to do? What type of factoring would get that factoring? All right, anybody want to steal? Ellie? Now, see, Lewis, what's going to frustrate you a little bit more is that if you would have said that before she said factoring, that's the other way. Square root property. But factoring, this is the difference of squares. So conjugates x plus 6 and x minus 6 would be equal to this by factoring. So x plus 6 is equal to 0, x minus 6 is equal to 0, so x can be negative 6, and x can be positive 6. If you were to use square root property, as Lewis said, then you, because it's only a single x, you would. Jamin, what's your aunt going to say about the movie back?
What?
Because you're talking when you're here. Let's hope it's too popular.
I am not though.
Quit being so popular.
I am not. He talks to everybody on the books. No, I don't. You're just a very emotional. Yeah, I should be.
She's like a golden ray of sunshine. Any questions on that one? Which function can be used to model the data on this table? Okay, so yes, there's a way to do this, but in Algebra 1, like on something like this, all you really would be required to do is take each one of those and test them. If any of the combinations fails, then you can ignore it. If any of them passes, then you got to go on to the next one and see which one works for all of them. My favorite number to substitute in the whole wide world is 0. I love substituting zeros because you can do it so fast. Like, look at the first one, A. What is 3 times 0? 0. It's definitely not negative 1, so it can't be this one. Okay? What's 0 divided by 2? Is 0 minus 1 is? Negative 1. Now, that doesn't mean that it's the answer, but it does mean it could possibly be. So can 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 2 times 0 minus 1 is also. So this 0 negative 1 works for it works for the last 3. So to start narrowing them down, let's go to this one. Let's plug in a 2. What's 2 divided by 2? What's 1 minus 1? 0. So that actually does. B still works. B still alive. It survived. What is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is 0? It's 1. Yeah, it's not 0. So B just lost. It lost in the second round of American Idol. What is 2 times 2? 4 minus 1 is 3. It's not 0. So you can, just for fun, to gloat, you can plug that one in and see if it works, but it will. So the answer is well, now you're going to get it right on the retest. All right, last 3. This is from Monday. This is the one from Monday. The one from yesterday is the one from yesterday we're going over on Monday. The total area of 2 rectangles can be represented by that expression. Which expression represents the total area of the 2 rectangles combined? Total area of 2 rectangles can be represented. So all they want to do there is simplify, I guess. Kind of a weird way to word it, but what would I do first to start simplifying? One word. What would I do first to start simplifying? Distribute. 3x squared plus x plus 2x squared plus 6x. Then we go back to the hood to combine like terms. Have x squared. What's the answer? Adrian, stop picking on the boys. He does have a point. You do sleep quite often. That's good. Because his ears are warm. He only falls asleep when his ears get cold. Because she heard that you were flirting with another girl in 4th period, and she doesn't want that. That's true. Okay, solve by substitution. I would prefer elimination here, but that's fine. If we were told substitution, we need a variable by itself. What would be the best variable to solve for? Jamin, there's learning going on. What would be the best variable to solve for? Which y? The first one. Yeah, the y on top. So if I were to do minus 2x and minus 2x, I could say that that top y is equal to negative 2x minus 5, and that's what I'm going to substitute. 4x plus 5 times negative 2x minus 5 is equal to negative 7. How has substitution helped me? What?
It's
What?
eliminated a variable.
Yeah. Yeah, look, honestly, if on the test if on the test that you take on Tuesday, if it tells you to solve by substitution, but there's no way for them to check how you did it, and you feel like doing elimination, do elimination. You're gonna get the same answer. But I'm just doing this because you should also know substitution. So distribute 4x minus 10x minus 25 is equal to negative 7. Negative 6x minus 25 is equal to negative 7. Next step, Lana. Good, at 25. Negative 6x is equal to 18. Divided by negative 6. That gives you a negative 3. And the nice thing about substitution is that there's always going to be an isolated variable waiting for you. I still need y, so I'll plug it into that one. Y is equal to negative 2 times negative 3 minus 5, which is 6 minus 5, which is 1. What's the answer? What event do you run? What event do you run? Ooh, yeah, this one was 0%. Not one person got this one right. Not one person got this one right. Find the value for m so that this has a slope of negative 3. So I know this seems tricky because there's so many letters, but if they say the slope is negative 3, which one of those letters means slope? M. Actually, no, I take it back. That's probably why you got it wrong. That's why you got it wrong. Okay. How can I say this? I know M normally means slope, but M normally means slope when you're in slope-intercept form. This is not in slope-intercept form. And it's really not in A form, but if I were to do minus 2 and minus 2, now what form would this be in? Yeah, it'd be standard. And now you could put this into slope-intercept form, but these are one of the ones where if you look through your notes, I actually took care of you because I gave you an easy way to find slope in standard form. I told you it was negative A over B. So now is when you could plug in we're looking for M. You know, what would that M have to what would that M have to be? Well, right now, what if this is in standard form, what is M taking the place of? Of the A, right? So now when I substitute, M is equal to negative A over B. So this M is where the A normally goes. So that's where I'm going to put the M. Then I can put this negative 3 where the slope goes. And then what would go where the B goes? 6. So negative 3 is equal to negative M over 6. Times 6 times 6, I get negative 18 is equal to negative M over 6. I'm sorry, it's equal to negative M. And then how do you get rid of the negative? Times negative 1. So the answer there should have been, but Hope,
Yes.
what would I put in I'm gonna type this in.
18.
Okie dokie. Remember, this one's due on Sunday night, along with all that extra stuff that's due. The only thing that's due on Monday is the take-home quiz, and then practice test B retake, which is also there.